Hey folks, it's been a while since I made a video, and I wanted to get started on this Fontana Malbec kit. This kit is one of the lower end kits, but I could show you my secret hacks to make this kit shine and really reach its fullest potential. You can make a fantastic wine, I think, you know, considering all things, that this kit costs around $40. And with that being said, you know, if you follow the directions that come with the kit, you'll make a pretty, you know, a mediocre wine. But, you know, with my hacks, you'll make it much better. So what we have here is, this is an ingredient kit. It does not come with any of the supplies that you would need as far as equipment. The equipment is something you would buy one time only, and you know, use it over and over again, like this bucket that's next to the kit. But you know, this kind of like a cake mix, doesn't come with the pots and pans and bowls and oven or whatever. But alright, so this is an ingredient kit, and we have all the ingredients we need to make this wine kit. So one of the things I'm going to do to get started is I've cleaned everything, cleaned and sanitized everything that's going to touch the wine. Alright, so before we get started, we're going to want to clean everything exceptionally well. I like this Be Bright cleanser. It's pretty much what I use almost exclusively, and it works, to me, I believe, excellent. It's very similar to OxyClean. Anything that touches the wine needs to be thoroughly cleaned, so we're going to need a long-handled spoon for this step. Our primary fermenter, which is basically a food-safe plastic bucket that is big enough to hold our wine, so it has to be over 6 gallons, so there's 8 gallons. And make sure I clean every single piece of this, including the lid and the underside, and make sure anything that touches the wine is immaculately clean. Technically, for primary fermentation, you don't need to snap the lid on, but I do anyway, because I don't want any fruit flies or anything like that getting into the wine. So I also am going to be using an airlock, so I'm going to clean that out as well. And this is one picture, and they come in multiple types. We're going to also need to clean our hydrometer, because we're going to need to take readings of what our starting specific gravity is in the winemaking process. If your primary fermenter is equipped with a spigot, you want to make sure it is shut off completely, so that when you start mixing things up, you don't have wine spilling out all over your floor. Now, if you're just starting out and don't have any equipment whatsoever, it might make sense to get a winemaking equipment kit. And this is stuff that you would buy once and use over and over again. And it would have many of the things that you would need for your home winemaking hobby. Might make sense. Alright. And in this bucket, I have put about 2.5 gallons of warm water. And you'll see that this kit comes with everything that you need to make it in the bag, yeast and everything. But for now, what I'm going to be making is the beginning part of this kit. Alright, so we're not going to be putting in anything else other than the bentonite, the packet marked A, the yeast, which we'll put in a little bit later, and the grape juice concentrate. Of course, there's directions, but you know, after you do these enough times, you don't really need to look at that. Alright, so the first things first is I'm going to fill this up with some warm water. Open up my bentonite, and I'm going to add that, but I'm not going to just dump it in. All right, I'm going to start stirring and gradually put this in. Like that. If you just dump it in, what's going to happen is you're going to get a lump of clay at the bottom of your water. So you want to mix it in like that. Now after that's mixed in, I'm going to take a pair of pliers and I'm going to take my kit and go like this with the kit. Take a pair of pliers and basically rip the top off. And what I'm going to do is pour that grape juice concentrate into the bucket. Now this is a Malbec wine. The grape concentrate that I'm pouring in is pretty thick. Alright, so that's the grape juice concentrate. Now, one of the hacks that you guys have seen me do in the past is these lower end kits, even though the directions say make it to 6 gallons, I'm going to be making it to 5 gallons. So now that I poured this out, I need to put more water in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up my bag. With water to get the rest of the juice out. Okay. Alright, so I put some warm water in this bag and I'm going to pour that in. Now the thing is, I've marked the 5 gallon mark on this and it's up here, this area. So I'm going to get more water and put water into 5 gallons. I'll be right back. Alright, so now after my water is in here to the 5 gallon mark, I'm going to stir that really, really well. Now in making any kit, it's really, really, really important you give it a really good stir. And the reason for that is the concentrate is really thick, right? And the water is much thinner. And in order to get it uniformly blended, you really got to get in there and stir it well. So I'm going to do this for like 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Alright, so the next thing I'm doing is I'm checking the specific gravity. And in looking at this, I'm coming up at around 1.090. Alright, and if you look at this meter here on the side, 1.090 is pretty much equivalent to about 12% alcohol. If you ferment it to 1.0, I'm going to be fermenting it even more than that. So we're going to most likely have something like a 12.5% alcohol, 13% alcohol. Alright, 12.5. Alright, so now the next step after that will be to take the yeast and just sprinkle this on top of the wine. Alright, now what I do next after that is I'm going to take my top, snap it on, and put an airlock in. Alright, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm probably going to be stirring it every couple of days. But I'm going to have the airlock on this on a second, and I'll be right back and we'll talk more about it. Alright, so I've put my airlock on. Now, technically you don't need an airlock and all that. You don't need to put the cover on for the primary fermentation. That's what I'm doing here. But I always do it. And you know, the reason why is I don't want anything happening like ants or even like a fruit fly if you have a banana coming in the house. You know, anything like that to get into this wine. So I like to close it off and control it that way. So I have an airlock on there, and you can see that. And at the same time, I've put all the other ingredients and the directions in the bag that comes in this kit, and I put it on top of the wine, and I'm gonna keep this with the wine the whole time I'm making it. Now, the reason I do that is because, you know, I make a lot of different wines, and I don't want to get them all confused which one was which. Now, in about 2 days, you'll see in this airlock it's going to start to bubble. About 2 days should look similar to this one. Now, this is a blackberry wine, but the same thing is going to start happening. If you look at this, alright, you see it's bubbling. What's happening is the yeast is consuming the sugar in the grape juice, and that sugar is being converted into alcohol, and it's also being converted into CO2 gas. Okay, and what you're seeing there is the gas escaping under the airlock. Okay, so water airlock. So that's the same thing I have on the one that I just made and that we're doing in this video. This one. So within like 2 days, you should see that starting to bubble. And if I push down on the top, you'll see what it's going to look like. Or, you know, I'm not really doing that. It's not really started yet, but it's going to take about 2 days, a day and a half, 2 days to start going. Alright, so we're going to let this go and stir it up every couple days. And every time I stir it up, I'm going to be cleaning the spoon. I'm going to be cleaning everything that always touches the wine with a wine making cleanser. I use Be Bright, and that's what we're going to be using. So we're going to do this completely until it's done fermenting, and then we're going to transfer this wine into a glass jug. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and stay tuned. In a I guess a week or so, we will have another video where you can see the next part. Alright, thanks for watching. Alright everybody, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my video channel here on YouTube. And definitely check out my blogs, www.cookingitalianrecipes.com with the dashes in the middle, or my other one on winemaking, howtomakehomemade.biz. Thanks for watching, please subscribe, and have an awesome day.